Welcome to the Connections demo series, where we walk you through step-by-step guides on Connections functionality. In this video, we're going to be walking through the dashboard reporting. Now, you can use the dashboard to gather useful information about your connections, such as how successful they are, how many you've sent versus how many you have remaining to use on your plan, etc. The first type of report that we're going to look at is our conversion rate statistics. This gives us a good idea of how successful our campaigns are. So if you're unfamiliar with conversion rate, the higher the number, the better your campaigns are performing. So for example, ours is at 83.33%. This means that our campaigns are selling our products and people are actually buying our products 83.33% of the time. If I send out a new campaign and no one buys the products based off that campaign, then this number will decrease. If I send out a campaign and everyone buys the product that's listed in that campaign, that number will increase. An important thing to note is that only the product connections impact this number. So in this case, it would be the product sale connection and the new product connection, as those connections are specifically tied to a product. Connections like the event connection or the general connection aren't necessarily tied to products, so they do not impact this number. Also, the goal of those connections really isn't conversions, as you might just be sending a general message or details on an event, so no one is meant to buy a product from those connections. In my example, the conversion rates are based off a timeline of 14 days, meaning if someone receives a connection for a new product and they buy that product within 14 days, it'll increase my conversion rate, meaning the campaign was successful. If they do not buy that product within 14 days, it will lower my conversion rate, meaning the campaign was not successful during my given time frame. I can change this number to make it whatever I want by navigating to the settings and selecting content, and then scrolling down to my conversion rate. And if I could change this to 7 days, I could change it to 21 days or 3 weeks, whatever I feel comfortable with and whatever timeline that I want to track my conversions to. Once I'm happy with that number, I can click Save Settings. Navigating back to the dashboard, I can look at the conversion rate specifically per month. So right now I'm looking at what this is for January. I can look at it year to date, so I can look at it for what the full year is, and I can look at my all-time conversion rate that since I started using the application and sending out the digital marketing campaigns, I can see what my all-time conversion rate is. Moving on to my email statistics, these two reports will give me a good idea of how many emails I've sent versus how many emails I have remaining on my plan to use. So the first report tells me how many emails I've sent, and this is grouped by month. So this is for the month of January. So for example, if I create a connection and that connection is an email connection that's going to 500 of my customers, then this number will increase by 500 and this number will decrease by 500. So right now I'm looking at the business plan, which gives me the ability to send 60,000 emails per month. So when February comes around, this number will jump back to 0 and my unused emails will reset. If I'm on the business plan, I can also get a report about my advanced email statistics per month. This gives me very specific details about the connections that I'm sending as well as my store, with the first one being your reputation. This stat gives me a percentage of how reputable my store is. Like the conversion rate, the higher the percentage, the better I'm performing. So if this is at 100%, it means my connections are less likely to be blocked or to be sent directly to someone's spam box. The lower the number is, the more likely my connections are to be sent to someone's spam box or reported to junk. The connections application has no impact on this percentage. It is solely determined by the digital marketing habits of the merchant who is sending out the connections. For example, the more times that your customers send your emails directly to their junk box, will lower your store's reputation. There are several different ways you can try to reduce your reputation being lowered. For example, making sure that you're always sending out relevant content to your audience so they're not sending it directly to junk. The most important thing that you can do to try to reduce the chances of your reputation being lowered is to always make sure you're sending your connections to your customers who have voluntarily accepted email marketing from your store. The key word here is voluntarily, because as the store owner, I can go to my customers list, select a customer, and edit their status for if they accept email marketing or not. However, if I do this without the customer actually agreeing to accept email marketing from me, there's a higher chance that they're going to send my connections directly to their spam folder or their junk mail, since they didn't actually agree to be receiving these emails. The best approach that you can take to try to reduce the likelihood of your reputation score going down is to only send connections to those who have actually gone onto your store and agreed to sign up to receive email marketing from you. When they do that, it will automatically change their flag within your store to accept email marketing, so you do not have to do it manually. Moving on to some of the other stats, I can also see how many emails that were attempted to send versus how many were actually delivered, how many times someone clicks on your email, so how many times they clicked on a link within one of the emails you sent them, how many invalid emails you're sending them to, so how many bad email addresses, how many emails were blocked by your customers, how many of your emails went directly to spam, and how many customers unsubscribed to your emails. Like all the other reports, this is only for the month of January, so this is grouped by month, and again, it's only available on the business plan. Moving down to the social media section, this gives me the number of posts that I send per month, how many unused posts I have. So on the business plan, I have the unlimited number of posts that I can send out. And it also gives me a breakdown of my social media posts for the month of January. So we can see 9 went to Facebook, 3 went to Instagram, and then 3 also went to Twitter. Similar to the social media posts, I can also see how many text messages were sent per month. And I can also see how many unused messages I have left to send. So on the business plan, I have 200 text messages to send to start with, so I have 197 left. This has been an overview of all the reports you can find on the Connections dashboard. For more information about the Connections application, visit www.mycustomerconnections.com. For additional support, you can email support@genetag.freshdesk.com. Thank you for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one.